things is we Nepali, very sorry to say, we Nepali don't have any compromises because we opened the KAT. Difficultly, we made a lot of people are training in Jaipur and here, there, and soon they did get the Jaipur training or like how overcomes, then they open the new. Since I know the KAT came over 2 decades, already about 10 canals is already opened because of the behalf of also and our also staff. Hard is open, Mr. Khageshwar, right? And several things. Now a new KAT is open, also Supravat, because he was also our manager. Anyway, that is too much. This is the biggest challenge. Soon, we had a lot of good panelists, and then they leave. That is the number one channel is very difficult for us. And number 2 is society has made the like a street dog. When we do the street dog, we had a lot of different challenges, different things. Totally, I feel so depressed when I was working in the since a founder member I myself. Lot of challenges come out in the KAT. It was very painful. It doesn't matter rescued dog from the street, doesn't matter. Doing the vaccination or operation doesn't matter. But different human beings challenge is too difficult for us. Last year and a half, let's put about 6 years. I mean, donation, who give the donation to us, they are ruling the KAT. And then depends on the one they rule the KAT is okay, it doesn't matter to me if it's good. But in a government part is here, law is here, and then donator was doing this way. Like recently I met also Mr. Lobsang. They don't like to speak even in a, they don't like even speak to the board. They want to do their own way. And then things comes, one is a challenge comes against from the government, and we have to go, board has to go to the face to confess to the so many things. I cannot speak good English, and that's why I said last 15 or 16 years I'm having such a big problem being like, okay, I'm a strong woman, I'm a first auto rickshaw driver, okay, I work in the public, it's okay. But sometimes very hard when they took all our worker to the different part. This year also KAT took the Mr. Lama. He was just 8 months was training, and certainly they offered a lot of money and they took it away. And this is also one of the biggest channels. Again, new people I have to train, new people doing this thing, that thing. I'm really sorry to speak. This has to stop to doing. Like, best people like, okay, Maru Mitra has a best people. I shouldn't do that. Like, okay, can you come? I will give you the big money. These things has to be Nepalma. म के भन्छु भने तपाईहरुलाई, सरी टु स्पिक नेपाली, नेपालमा जसले जे च्यानल खोले पनि एक अर्काको मान्छेलाई अफर गर्नु भएन। यो मैले तपाईहरुलाई भनेको कुरा यो, किनकि लास्ट 15 वर्षसम्म myself I am suffering. कुरा बुझ्नु भएन कि? अनि कस्तो हुन्छ भने जो मान्छेले चाहिँ आएर पैसा दियो उसैको चाहिँ कन्ट्रोलिङ गर्ने र गभर्नमेन्टको एउटा ल छ भने पैसा दिनेहरुको चाहिँ अर्को कुरा हुन्छ। त्यसले गर्दा के छ भने हामी सबैजना एउटै क्यानल हो। वी आर सेम थट टु मेक द बेस्ट थिंग्स फर द एनिमल राइट्स। That means like we have to have a one motto, one things, but we shouldn't pinch each other. That is the things. And then also, Sahara knows very well what she promised us to buy the things. Anyway, like she can understand. And then it's Sahara open the Mitra. We had such a hope to get the things from her. She was volunteer to us. She was staying in my daughter's house. I was really thinking she was going to help us. Allah gone to the heart, Sahara opened the Manamitra. Can you imagine that? How painful to run the cat. Anyway, like this is my emotional things. I'm very sorry. I mentioned these things. We have to have a पाँचवटा हात छ, पाँचवटा औँला छ, पाँचवटा औँलाले मुड्की बन्छ. मुड्की बनेपछि अनि एकैचोटि चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ प्रहार गर्न सक्छ गभर्नमेन्ट या एनिमल राइट्सको लागि हामी कहाँ जान सक्छौँ के गर्न सक्छौँ भने हामीले गर्न सक्छौँ. तर मान्छे भाड्नु भएन. आनन्दसँग बसेर काम गरिरहेकोलाई चाहिँ मैले यति तलब दिन्छु प्लिज यु कम, यो चाहिँ गर्नु भएन भने मेरो एउटा सबैजना तपाईँहरूलाई चाहिँ मैले एउटा रिक्वेस्ट गरेको. एज आइ एम नट रिक्वेस्टिङ हर, सी इज अ बिगेस्ट बडी फर नेपाल, right? You are the biggest body for Nepal. Yeah. No, you did it. Not only trying, you did it. Means like bigger body. उहाँलाई आमा भएर मैले उहाँलाई कम्प्लेन गरेको होइन, तर हाम्रो मनमा चाहिँ त्यो हुनु पर्यो. त्यसले गर्दा अब रेस्किएको च्यालेन्ज चाहिँ म चाहिँ हाम्रो आकाश बिहापपतमीलाई प्रोग्राम म्यानेजरलाई दिन्छु म र उहाँबाट सुन्नुहोस्. बिकज ही हेज भेरी गुड इङ्ग्लिस, ही has a very good college rather than me. I was only 3 days school my life because I don't have any opportunity go to school myself. But anyway, like I got the award from the USA BWN award from Nepal, from the Energy Ministry in Washington DC, and that day I feel, I am entrepreneurs. Please, you must welcome to visit my house and my library and my business and the cat mother जानुभयो हैन. त्यसले गर्दा please you must welcome to see my library and the museum, please. Thank you. Love.
Excuse me. I'll just hold for a minute. Like.
उहाँले बस्नु पर्यो बताओस् अनि मात्र तपाईँ कुरा गर्नुहोस्. Okay. Are we switching? Yeah, I'll just go. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'd love
to comment on some of the things that she said, if that's okay.
Yeah, I can translate and I can.
Yeah. So we actually, we had the pleasure of visiting KAT Centre just yesterday. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Day before yesterday, and Aakash was kind enough to show us around. And they're certainly doing a really good job. And I don't speak Nepali yet, but I think I understood some of that. And certainly I think one of the biggest challenges that we also observe is a lack of collegiality. We animal welfare organizations are individual organizations, but we have to come together on our shared goals. You know, I understand we want to maintain our identities and our autonomy, but in the same way that you have a body with, different names for its different body parts, you know that your legs and your arms and your nose and your eyes all have to work together because that's the only way the body's going to work, right? So in the same way, we have to work together. I mean, for MMF, that's the way we operate. We are Magic Marble Foundation, but Magic Marble Foundation works with KAT Centre. We've worked with you guys. We've worked with the other KAT Centre now. We work with Heart in Pokhara. We work with Soltis in Gularia. So why? Because we're doing genuine work, all of us. And so anytime we find someone who's doing genuine work, who's meeting the same purpose as us, we meet them in the middle so we can facilitate each other. I was listening to a podcast the other day in which the speaker was talking about how the great forests of the world work. And there's not many of them left. But he was talking about how trees and mushrooms, and I'm going to show you how this is related, but trees and mushrooms actually have a symbiosis, right? So there's, in great healthy forests, you have all kinds of different trees, and on the ground you have the mushrooms. And the trees communicate with the mushrooms, they send nutrients back and forth to each other, and they help each other, right? They're completely different species, but they're helping each other. Why? Because it contributes to the health of the entire forest. which both the tree and the mushroom relies on. And so, these large healthy trees, right? They actually, through this, it's called a mycorrhizal network of mushrooms, they will help subsidize weaker trees at the far end of the forest, a completely different species of tree. Why? They certainly don't have to do that. But if you're a healthy, robust tree and all of the trees around you are dying, you're ultimately failing, right? So we have to sort of unify and work together. And when we saw KAT Centre doing well, we felt relief, we felt pride, not as Magic Marble Foundation, but as part of the animal welfare community. And I think if we can get over that barrier, we can accomplish so much more. That's one of the biggest barriers, but I don't want to monopolize the mic. I'm going to hand it over to you and we can go back and forth.
It's good, really nice.
Thank you.
Really, 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 really.
So, to summarize our president's saying, so what he's saying is that there is a more problem between humans than there is in actual animals, which is stopping us from helping animals in that process. So that is one of the biggest problem that C has been facing, because C has been facing it since 20 years. So you can imagine we have been here for like 2 or 3 years and we've faced it so lot, but C's been here since the starting time. So it's a lot that she has been through, and she shared her experience about how humans are not helping to help animals. So that is the summary of her saying. And so talking about the challenges of a rescue, so I work as a program manager at the KAT Centre, and the challenges that we have particularizing rescue is that we have limited space. Not only us, all the animal rescue around Nepal have limited space. And so that we can only cover around, like, we have one of the biggest facilities in Nepal, but we could only cover about 54 rescues at a time. But you can imagine the call that we get every year, every day for a rescue is up to 30 to 40 calls, including our personal cells, our office cell, and the Facebook and social media. We get around 30 requests, and it's never enough. Like, even if we try to help 1 or 2, the rest does not get helped. So this is a process that has been going on, and only spay and neuter could eradicate that in the future. So our most priority is to spay and neuter the animals, which we have been doing since 2004. And it's not like we have never seen changes. The data shows that in 2006, when a survey went through KMC, there were 54,000 street animals, street dogs. But now there is 23,000.
In Kathmandu or Nepal?
In Kathmandu, but inside the ring road, that also. So in Valley, you can imagine there is more. But recently we had a survey in Budanilkanta, where the municipality where KAT is located, and it's nearby SPCA as well. So we can see that the municipality has a lot of changes going on, because the number in that municipality is only 2,300 of street dogs. And on that also, only 54 of the females are left to be spayed. So that is a really nice number. And it shows that if we work together, then there could be a change. Like Budanilkanta could stand as a model community to other municipalities as well. So there is a possibility of change, but as we said, that we all need to work together for that. We need to spay from outside to inside, going on, and collaborate with all the municipalities at once. Then only I think we can solve this problem forever. And then we can think about expanding our rescue system, giving better rescue, like having facilities of blood analyzer and stuff. That is something we could only think about like in next 10 years, if we do the spaying and neutering now. But if we don't do it now, then maybe in 10 years and 20 years, we'll still be thinking about the spay and neuter program. So I think this is something we need to concentrate about. Not only us, I think every rescue should focus on that and think about the future and making it better. Thank you. I'll hand it.
And like what sort of challenge they are facing, like KAT Centre, facing as a center. So I would like to move to our next panelist, Ms. Jennifer. So while establishing a center, there need to be some sort of team, a dedicated team, who can work effectively to make the operation all successful in the center. So, what do you think? Like you have been working here with like as a part of Magic Marble Foundation. Like how long have you been working?
So we've been working in Nepal since 2020 formally. We actually started working in Nepal informally since 2018.
So like like I was trying to read like you have been working already for like 1.5 years already, like 2020.
Formally, sure.
Okay, like 2.5 years already. So have you really felt that the dedicated team is quite challenging to find here to like
So I think more than dedication, there is a lack of adequate veterinary training. The passion to learn is there, but if you're an animal lover in Nepal and you want to become a veterinarian, the resources available to you are just completely inadequate. And that's, I think, when you're in the community and you're looking for veterinarians, it's very easy to blame the veterinary techs and the veterinarians who are available, but what kind of training did they have access to? So we need to make changes to veterinary education immediately. That's, first of all, in order to make real change, we have to address multiple fronts simultaneously. It's never just one thing. So in addition to that, you have not so much dedication as an issue, but so lack of information, but then also there's no shelter medicine being practiced. I won't say none, you guys are doing a good job, KAT Centre's doing a good job, but there's a real lack of shelter medicine and standardized medicine. How many organizations are vaccinating at intake? Really, we're not seeing it. And so we're hearing about outbreaks. How do you have a rabies outbreak when you have an isolation ward? It doesn't happen unless someone's not doing something correctly. And you hear this all the time. So, for us, we're very stringent about consulting experts. There is such a thing as expertise. I'm not a veterinarian, so I make sure that I try and consult people who know better than me. And we have to have some humility in order to do that, to say, you know what? I don't know everything. None of us knows everything. So let's find people who know more than us, right? And that has to be sort of a continuous process where we just decide we're going to put our egos aside. That's probably one of the most difficult things, right? Put your ego aside and think of the individuals in need, right? So the individuals in need are relying on us, you and I, all of us, to give them the best care possible. How can they get the best care possible when our main focus is being the most important, being number one? Number one should be the individuals in need, right? So we try and focus on that. But in other organizations, there's a lack of resources. There's a lack of access to technologies. Expense is a big issue. Land, you're talking about lack of space. Land in Kathmandu is outrageously expensive. These are charities we're talking about. A lot of us, our organization, Magic Marble Foundation is a volunteer organization. No one gets paid. Everyone does this, with full-time jobs and families and children, and we're doing this because we would like to change the world, right? But we don't have unlimited resources. You guys don't have unlimited resources. And so in order for this to change, we need the government to step in and also help, right? So, these issues are so, you can kind of go into them like fractals and find out more and more problems the deeper you dig. But I think dedication is probably not the biggest issue. I think it's more a lack of resources. Yeah.
And one thing that was, I was quite curious to know about, lots of organizations are morely focused within the Kathmandu Valley.
Sure.
So what do you think, like, why those organizations that are newly emerging who are interested to work for the animal welfare are not much interested to go outside the Kathmandu, because there are 77 districts in Nepal, but more of the organizations are so much Kathmandu-centric, like capital-centric. So what do you think, like, why they are not interested, or maybe there are other things that...
That's a great question, and I'll tell you, for us, so we have work in Gularia. We set up the infrastructure for Soltis street animal rescue. We started working there because there's a great need. There is no other good clinic there. There's no sterilization program there. So we said there's need there. Let's see how we can help. But we couldn't do that without another organization who actually wants to set up a clinic and bring trained veterinarians there and actually create the facility. Right? So this is another resource problem. In Nepalganj, there's people who send us messages every day saying, no one is helping us here. What about the dogs here? There's no help. And it's very frustrating for us, because we would help if there was a clinic there that has a veterinarian who's, practicing safely to help the animals, but there isn't. There isn't. We can't take a dog who's been hit by a car and send them to a veterinarian who has basically zero training. These animals are not experiments. We want to give them quality care. If we view them as, what would we do if these were our family members? We want to make sure that the person operating on our family member who's been hit by a car knows anatomy, right? Knows how to set up an IV properly. You can give someone a stroke if you set up an IV incorrectly, right? So these are the challenges. If there were enough veterinarians with good training in various spots, I can tell you, other organizations, including ourselves definitely, we would jump on the opportunity to do more. And again, the government can help.
So, thank you for your question. I'm answering on your part as well, being located in Nepal. So, one of the plans that KAT has endured is that we want to move our programs of spay neuter outside as well. Our board, Nepalese board, has been working very hard in getting it out of Valley as well. And we have 2 vet doctors working with us, and they are very eager to work outside as well. And regarding the isolation thing, we are trying to establish it. We are trying to establish it on our own. And the rabies thing, we make sure every dog is vaccinated when they get inside the center. Whether it be on a rescue or in animal birth control or whatever the issue is, we try to provide needed vaccinations for them. And regarding the dedication part, I think everyone is dedicated. They're more than needed, dedicated, but they're dedicated to be on top rather than to be on together. Yeah, so I think that is one of the problems that is being faced by the animal rescues here. And the ill practice as well, we don't have any sort of license for whether to work on animals or not. You can see a social media hero working with an animal, providing whatever needles or injection, which I won't be providing. I do have a little knowledge, but I won't be providing that. I'll make sure the doctor comes in and do the necessary process. You won't let a human be touched by another human if the human is in need. But why do we do that to the animals? If we are not trained enough, and why do we provide the things that we're not supposed to the animals? And that is also one of the big issues that has been going on in our society. Like, you can see a person who needs help, we'll make sure he or she goes to the hospital. But with animals, we try to be a hero, we try to treat them. It's not the right way. Like, there is a professional setting for everyone in every position. That's why we have trained professionals. Like, I had been left the seat because I have been trained to talk here. I am a social work graduate and I know about social work. And so she left the seat for me to talk about, even though she has a lot of experience in her field. She left the spot for me. I think that is also one of the problems that is being faced. Like, the trained professionals are not, there are not enough trained professionals working the field in that way.
7 years ago, I had my few dreams. In Nepal, when we rescued the dogs and one dog died, we don't have any cemetery. See, this is my thought to have a machine for burning. Last 6 months ago, I was thinking I talked to about where is the machine was producing. And that was very expensive for us to buy, almost like a $10,000 to $15,000. Means like, right now, and I'm requesting you, I think we need in a KAT, one is a burning machine, and like a proper 2 ambulance. We don't have very old ambulance too yet. Anyway, we are running, and so far we are very lucky, and a KAT is very lucky. We had a very good veterinary doctor, and plus we had a very much also volunteer from the different part of the world, volunteer from Switzerland, volunteer from the USA. Anyway, like experience. We can say volunteer plus I can give them the name like expertise also. Very good expertise comes volunteer in the KAT. Yes, we had a lot of big plan to do it from the KAT. Like number one is like a burning machine. We had on land. We have enough land. Also, we did collaborate it after our district government, and district government was doing very well for us also. And right this moment, I think we need 2 more doctors still, and then 1 more what do we call ambulance, and we are trying to build the canal, right? More than I think it's like 35 to 40 canal we want to build. You saw the land of the land we can build very well in the 40, and then also some of the one K, the K is doing also animal. K. And then K has a very big problem to merge with any other canal. And then we also request her to, we can merge with her. Whatever comes, we can split each other. We have more land. Lucky things is lucky. We are very, very lucky we had on land. And on land is sponsored from the Jimina Babra. Jimina Babra. Jimina Babra and Heart. She was sponsoring to us 63 lakh rupees.
Oh, Heart and Pogra.
No. Heart is sponsoring Heart this year. After many years, see Jan and Babra Jim is fighting each other, and we are being like lonely from us because it's all donor fighting, and KAT is getting lonely without mother, without father. Anyway, this year we had a very nice convocation. She came over, see all the KAT taking care, Laxmi is taking care, this blah 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 blah. But is our dream was like this: if we like magic, I don't know, I can't. Magic marble could collaborate with the government, and you both like necessary. We can added more things. Talking things for the government, because we need it now, this moment, hygienically, we need a burning out from the dog and animal. This is my dreams. And the other things is like microchip, because right this moment is challenges like this. People are taking the dogs and keep taking care like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then after that they are throwing away in the street. That is very difficult for us. And we have a register, our KAT register only for the cat is only for the street dog, not is a homemade dog, like pet dog. Now it comes to lot of people are complaining like in the street, like, oh, this dog is there, this thing, blah 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 blah. And then when we went to see like this laboratory, German Shepherd, and then like so many different dogs. They are now Mr. Kalyan. Kalyan has to do so many things, talk to government, and to us we are together. I told you like a finger, five finger, we are together. Whatever added, we can add in the government to make the animal rights, not only for the donkey, and then yak. All animals. Well, it's when I see the donkey and the cat, donkey, cat, and then it's this what do we call like other thing? Yak one, yak. People are using for the work, and then they are throwing away. This is since many years. I was talking to the government. I was talking to animal rights people. Yesterday, I was very happy to talk to Maneka Gandhiji. Also, I don't have any opportunity to talk to because this morning also I was very busy. I could not talk to her anyway. And we need to establish so many things for the animal rights. And these things has to be, you have to look in I will send you the report for the magic marble. I'll send you all the report. What we can have to do it to in Nepal. Not only is like in the Kathmandu Valley. We need to do the overhaul in Nepal. Nepal was what is a small Nepal is not even one is district of the USA. And I think so we could help a lot for the animal rights. And then I promise you within 10 days I'll send you all the report what we've done it, what we have to do it for the animal rights. I think this is the way the speak. I mean, I don't have good English. Very sorry. I hope so you understand. And we need the most important things. We need the burning ghat for the animal, because it's everybody. This is also one of the let's put about like the business also. If we put a nice machine, like one machine, when I study about one machine, human beings has like 115 kg to 20 kg. Like a dog has only 20 kg, 25 kg. That means like we need to have a small machine. Like otherwise we have to throw in 5 dog in one place. And this is I think is a magic marvel. I was requesting, please look after to put the burning ghat, like a burning place, cemetery. What we call like a cemetery. And this has to necessary in Nepal because it's not hygienic. People are throwing in one of the Himalayan dogs carrying this dead body, and we had a very big problem. Right, this one big problem also. Now is in our cat kennel was trying to do the coming month. I'm going to do also biogas from the dogs poops. Dogs poops and dogs. So we need also money. Whatever comes a new idea, next takes money. This is very difficult. Right? Biogas is very necessary in a cat. Not only cat. Cat will be first to teach everybody. Please don't mind what I said before, because I feel very sad. What is the same thing like my factory also. 550 people are working in my factory. Same thing happened now. It's 110 factories open. If they are success, I will be very happy. But if they are not success, it's not good, right? Now I'm really telling you, you people have to be very great successful. Not only talking, has to work properly. I'm requesting you also this kind of thing. I'll send you the fully information about the cemetery, like burning. This is more hygienic, what I found myself. And then also like microchips. And I heard about the Mr. Suprabhat is talking microchip. I don't know what's going on. He hasn't done it. I telephoned last week. What happened to your bloody microchips? He said, Didi, wait. He is not my enemy. I'm very happy he worked in the cat. However comes, each animal rights should have one motto. We have to do the animal rights things. This is my way to, Thank you very much. And I will send you the good proposal for you and help everybody's. Thank you.
Surajan, I have something to say.
Sorry,
Yeah, please.
क्वेसन गराए
First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Sabi Shrestha. I run a small organization, animal welfare organization in Madhya Pradesh. It's called Madhya Pradesh Animal Welfare Society. And we're doing that on volunteer basis. Actually, I and another one member is there. Just 2 person is there. And looking after all the community members of our municipality especially. We have a software which I have borrowed from others. That app which can calculate, or we can just insert the number of dogs over there. And we have done spay neuter campaign from last 2018 until this year. We are doing that. Since 5 years we are doing that, and local government, our municipality is supporting us for that. And we are currently lobbying for this reason, for the downsizing the number of the dogs in our locality, in our area. So we are continually following that, and this year also they have get some budget for us, especially for us. So
That's very lucky.
Yeah, last year also they have assigned around 10 lakh rupees, and we did around 246 dogs spay neuter program, and this year also we are doing that. And one more, Vegfest Foundation, they also supported us for the spay neuter campaign last year, and we did 153 spay at that time. And I'm so sorry to say that you guys are just talking about your organization only, and here are a number of organizations which actually are working in ground level. We are not shelter. So, but
Neither
still,
are we. We're
yeah,
not a shelter
I know
either.
about you, but KAT is a shelter.
Sure.
And here in Animal Nepal is there, Sneha's Care is there, SPCA is there. Whenever we need, because we treat on the street, we take any injured animals to the hospital, and after that where we keep, there's no option. Because in my home also I have 8 dogs. One is paralyzed, and I have to take care. I am fully working from morning to till 5 p.m. I work for them. So because that group is founded by me and another my friend also. We both share every expenses, and we too are doing that. And you KAT Center and or all other animal welfare societies, they just don't ignore about this. Yes, there is limited space. I know that limited space is there, but in case of emergency, you should take in, because we are doing our level best, because we just are funding by ourselves, and you guys are organization, and still you are begging here. That I saw just here.
I
Just
have to
here.
interrupt you there for a second.
No,
I have
that
to.
is what
There's a lot of
I
passion. That's what you felt, but I think feelings and facts are sometimes not aligned, and we have to make sure that we have this conversation, which is very important. I feel your passion coming through. I have the same fire every single day. Magic Marble Foundation in Nepal. Okay, now I have to talk about Magic Marble because
First,
you
let me
posed the
finish
question
my-
to me.
First, let me finish my
Sure.
thing, then we'll,
Of course, of
because
course.
I am hearing this from last 40 minutes, and
Sure.
here there is nothing at all. According to the schedule, there is nothing at all. So it's basically the session must be of animal rescue challenges in Nepal context, no?
Sure.
And here it is not going on. That's why I interrupted over here.
You didn't hear what we said?
You said, but there is something, but you didn't hear about other organizations, no?
We work with other organizations. That's how
Yes,
Magic Marble works.
You work. I know you are
Yeah.
funding some individual persons for the spend new
And organizations.
Maybe I, as far as I know, and
You can ask the question and I will answer any question. We work 100% transparently. You're right.
She's trying to put the question to animal
Oh,
welfare
organizations. And you
working
should.
with
You should.
shelter, who have shelter learning.
Sure.
yes, there is a different challenges. I know that
Of
there
course.
is, because Nepal is a small country. No one is funding. Any organization is self-funded. I know that.
Sure.
Government is not supporting.
Right.
But still, there is some organization is as they are already established, and we are in a verse to establish, no? So we say one thing and do another thing. We say like we don't have ego, we are individual person, and then when there is a group work, there is always number 1 and number 2. That I felt, and so as my wish as a small organization or something who is funding themselves by their own, think like everyone should collaborate with each other,
We're
keeping their
exactly.
egos outside.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
so I agree with
Keeping
you.
their egos outside, because whenever I need help, I always have to cry, and I always have to shout, and I will.
But
I
that's what
always
we're
have-
doing too.
Yes,
That's what we're
yes,
doing
that's
too.
That's what. Everyone has the same problem.
Right.
Then no one is just helping. Just passing the number is not enough. Rescuing is very challenging in Nepal.
Right.
Whenever there is even he told just above that there is 30 calls per day he is getting. Even I am getting 5 to 6 calls every day, and there are so many request messages in my Facebook account.
Sure.
Even single person is a statement. Single person
I give
who
answer.
we are just we need to go there and take that dog or whatever animal and to the hospital every time. That is not possible.
Sure.
No, that is not possible. Even if I have 10 more volunteers, still that is not possible, because we are getting calls from various part of the, even in Kathmandu, even in Buranilkonda, many part of the Kathmandu Valley we are getting calls. Whereas we are very small, and there is strictly we have mentioned that we only work for the Madhepur Timi municipality, but still we are getting calls from all over.
You are bringing up some. These are all. What she's saying is true in large part. Okay.
That is my question.
And your
Rest
frustration.
is all yours.
Your frustration is based on reality. I'll definitely pass the mic to you too. We have these issues that we're all sharing, and I think as an individual, you cannot be involved in the animal welfare space without understanding what kind of environment we're working in. Whether you're an individual or an organization, the resources are limited, okay? And that's an understatement. Now,
I'll give her to answer.
sure, of course.
When sorry, okay, thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry to interrupt you. म एउटा कुरा के भन्छु भने एज अ नेपालीमा है, म नेपालीमा के भन्छु भने प्लिज डोन्ट माइन्ड, हामीले गर्नु नसके गर्दै नगर्ने गऱ्यो भने मैले के भनेको छु भने क्याटलाई हाम्रो कति वर्ष भने 2-3 वर्षसम्म त हाम्रो त क्याटले त हाम्रो दुःख दियो। क्याट युकेले पैसा दिएन, ल्याउने बेलामा मान्छे वार 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 ल्यायो, उनीहरूले नि भर्ना गरे। एक्सक्युज मी इज फाटन, सरी आई स्पिक नेपाली। वार 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 लिएर आयो होइन, भर्ना गऱ्यो, 7 लाख 8 लाख रुपियाँ चाहिँ तलब दिनुपर्ने गऱ्यो, राइट? ओके होइन, फ्याट्ट लाएर ल कि त अध्यक्ष निस्की होइन, कि होइन भने हामी चलाउँछ कि त अध्यक्ष निस्की भनेर झगडा गऱ्यो। झगडा गर्दाखेरि प्यानलमा आउँदाखेरि मलाई कसले पनि निकालेन, मलाई राख्यो। मैले पनि तिमीहरूको पैसा मलाई चाहिँदैन होइन, म जग्गा बेचेर हुन्छ या के म गर्दै गर्दै म क्याट छोडेर जान्छु। क्याट छोड्ने हो भनेदेखि म क्याट छोडेर जान्छु, होइन रहेछ भने म आई विल टेक द रिस्पोन्सिबिलिटी। भने 1 year आई मेक द ग्यारेन्टिड फर द क्याट, आई लेफ्ट इट देयर। मैले के भन्छ नि, आफ्नो मुठीमा खाजा छ भने काम गर्ने, होइन रहेछ भने सबैको मुख ताकेर मैले ज्यानले खोल्ने बेला नि मैले भने कि ज्यानले थाहा छ कि यहाँ हाम्रो कस्तो कस्तो मान्छे थियो। यहाँ भनौँ न, कनकमण दीक्षित हुनुहुन्थ्यो, गौरी रिमाल हुनुहुन्थ्यो, बाङदेल पहिलाको पूर्व मन्त्री बाङदेल सर हुन्। किनभने हामीले विदेशको पैसा नल्याए तापनि हामी आफै गर्छु भनेर हाम्रो मन लिएर तन लिएर धनले हामीले गऱ्यौँ होइन। त्यसले गर्दा के छ भने नानीले जुन चाहिँ भन्नुभयो कि फलानाले गर्यो ढिस्काले, अर्काको मुख ताकेर कहिले पनि हुँदैन, अर्काको भरले छोरा कहिले पाल्दैन। सोसल वर्क गर्दै नगर्नु, गरेपछि लाइक लक्ष्मी शर्मा डटेर गर्नु। मेरो भनाइ यो 10 जना भनेर के गर्ने, कसले दिने होइन। अब हामीलाई 1 वर्ष 2 वर्षसम्म चाहिँ क्याटले पैसा दिएन, व्हाट शुड आई डु? आई टोल्ड द मिस्टर के भन्छ अरे पाललाई चाहिँ मैले के नि, आई विल सेन्ड द ल्यान्ड, आई विल टेक केयर द things slowly God help us, we made the one अहिले चाहिँ युएसए को। त्यसले गर्दा के भने नि अर्काको भरले कहिले छोरा नपाल्नु, आफूले सके गर्नु, नसके कम्प्लेनै नगर्नु। म त यही भन्छु। अहिलेसम्म मैले भनेको छ चाहिने चिजहरू उहाँहरूलाई माग्ने हो मैले होइन, नचाहिने चिजहरू नमाग्ने। त्यसले गर्दा के छ नि, सरी तपाईँको बाँदरले हामीले गर्नु सकेनौँ, किनकि देयर इज अ रिस्ट्रिक्ट अबाउट द किनकि एनिमल वेलफेयरमा के छ भने वी क्यान नट रेस्क्यु द मङ्की एट होम। because we had a big problem of the government.
I am not
Conserve-
talking about the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
talking
because
about
it's
the
like, I understand. That's why, like, very sorry we cannot help you.
No,
I'm
that's
very,
not
very
fine.
sorry, Nani.
That is not
Very
fine.
sorry we cannot help you to rescue your things, because we have also not a big problem.
It is not
You know.
me.
That's
It's
why
not me.
this is my personal now. This is the land of these things. Okay, very sorry about. Okay, now is the time over. Also, I think so. No. Sorry. Because it's
This is a
No,
difficult
it's not-
subject
it's,
to. this is-
actually, it's not
one-
me
one
because
second.
once
No,
I asked
it's
you-
my turn. I'd like to respond to some of your questions. First of all,
It's not personal.
not
you,
upset.
first of all,
Of
I'm
course
just
not.
not-
Of course not. I don't.
Not personal.
I want to say I don't think it's personal. I understand why you're upset, and I'm frequently upset myself. To be very honest with you, if you talk to animal lovers in the community, they will tell you I am not the character who walks around pretending to be a saint. Jennifer is angry often. Okay, there's a reason for this. Not only do we have limited resources, we don't have a shelter properly. Okay, our volunteers. We're all volunteers, okay? We have a core team in Nepal of 4 people. Many people don't know that about Magic Marble Foundation. We are 4 people. We are volunteering. I work from the United States. I'm up until 3:30 in the morning, easily every day, if not more, okay? You know who's answering the questions in the inbox from Nepal? That's me, okay? And I have a job and I have a family, but I do it because I care. And I do my own animal rescue in my house as well. So I think when you're approaching this from the community and these details are not readily available, what you see from the community is, hey, I'm just an individual and you're an organization, you've got a website and a Facebook page, and you guys have all of these resources. You must, you're an organization, so why aren't you doing more, right?
No,
It's
that's not
it's
my
frustrating.
saying.
But we get rescue requests every single day, and we have to explain to every single person, understandably, that we don't have a shelter. We just have volunteers who take in the animals into their homes to the safest capacity, right? When you're taking in animals, when you have a shelter, there is something called shelter medicine, okay? You don't want to have an outbreak of infectious diseases, which happens even in established organizations because of improper shelter medicine practice or zero shelter medicine practice, right? You have to vaccinate animals at intake and isolate them for a certain amount of time before you can add them to general population. Otherwise, you have massive suffering that you're causing. And as an animal welfare organization, your job, your hope is to reduce suffering. So one of my volunteers right now, you guys know Kalyan Silwal, right? He's the coordinator for Nepal, okay? He has at his house right now 21 dogs, just dogs, that are rescues, okay? Now at his house, we've had to create isolation. We have a middle area for animals who are transitioning and who have certain medical conditions and can't be in general population. And then the other wing is the rest of the animals. We are at capacity at his house, the volunteer's house, okay? This is something that we have to explain to everyone who asks us to rescue. They say, why can't you take in just one more? And I'll tell you why. Because with one more dog, we will have fights. We will have aggression. And then you'll have to treat those animals who have been in fights, who have horrible, horrible fights. And we've contributed to that if we don't take in animals responsibly. We have one ambulance and one veterinary tech who drives that ambulance. In order for us to rescue animals and take them to the hospital, which is what we do, we don't do street rescue. We want to give them proper care. We have that one ambulance which will accommodate one sick animal at a time. Why? Because of the prevalence of infectious disease on the streets. So we can only take one at a time if they're sick. And then we need a hospital who has the facility to treat this animal, right? If the hospital isn't there, and they don't have rooms or crates available, and they don't have staff available, we are stuck. That's just MMF. But you have KAT here, we work with Soltis and Gula. Soltis has the same problem. They've got 2 vets. They've got hundreds and hundreds of animals every day in the most gruesome situations. If you look at their page, you'll cry in a second. And I'm sure we're all seeing this every day. And the question is, what do we do? How can we help if the resources are not there? How can we, as an organization, how can you help better when there's no one else to help? Not just people, but also facilities, but also training, but also land. You need all of these things. So in order to solve the animal welfare issues in Nepal anywhere, we have to take a multidimensional approach. And instead of just posing these questions to the organizations, which we must as organizations, we also have to implement public education, which we are not doing a good job of here. We have care curriculum. We are one organization. One 4-person organization in Nepal cannot tackle public education in all of Nepal. We're doing it, we're doing our best, but we're not enough. And I tell that to everyone, even for our community sterilization program, okay? People contact us through our Facebook and they say, we have 30 dogs that need to be sterilized on this street. And we take down their name and their location, but then we also tell them, please also contact other safe organizations. And whoever can do it first, go with them. Don't wait for MMF. We don't have to have a monopoly on animal welfare. No one does. And if we're trying to solve these problems, we have to get beyond that. We have to think as one. And I agree with you there. I respect your passion because I feel it myself, and I'm sure we all do. But the communities have to understand they have to participate, right? For example, we'll get a request to rescue a dog in front of someone's house. The message will say, I have a dog who's been sick for 5 weeks in front of my house, and nobody has helped. So what we'll say is, okay, we will help.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I?
We are already out of time.
Okay, is it okay if I finish what I was saying? So please. So what we'll say is we will provide free medical care. We'll cover all of the expenses. When the animal is discharged from the hospital, can you take the responsibility of providing the medication and the meals? We'll even help you provide the meals. We'll give you the funds for that. But can you take the responsibility of giving this dog medication every day or change their bandages every day? We'll give you the supplies. And the answer, by and large, is no.
Yes.
In order to change that, we have to have public education. The community and organizations must work together. If the majority of the community does not care about animals, we're not going to solve these problems. So, right.
Like we are already out of time. I will just take last questions, and please try to finish it in very short.
I'll try.
I wanted to participate in the discussion because I'll be really quick. My name is Apple. I was actually stuck here in Nepal 2020 March. I was only here supposed to be for 9 days, and I ended up being here for 9 months. And since the lockdown started in March 2020, I immediately started dog feeding on the streets. I started with one dog. I posted it on my social media. It blew up. I had many donations. Long story short, I ended up staying in Nepal for 9 months. I started a foundation called Collective Compassion Nepal, which provide plant-based meals for orphanages and different schools. And I also have a little rescue team here. I'm also here like you. I arrived last week from the US, and I didn't even know Himalayan Vegan Festival was happening. So I'm like you. I came here to know, like, what can I do? What can I help? And I so understand what you are saying. As far as like the rescue welfare in Nepal, what I have noticed is that I understand your frustration, but also you have to put yourself in our predecessors. I'm sure she was also in your position when she first started 20 years ago, when she felt helpless and couldn't do anything about it. But just keep going and be patient, because when we point, how come KAT Center can take, how come that doesn't solve anything? If anything, we drown them even more of stress and burnout. She is already in her 70s. We are still young. You have a lot of years ahead of you. So save that energy and passion to something positive, because you don't want to end up, burnt out and upset and mad at the world, and that's not going to help any animal. So what I wanted to say is my rescue team that I'm forming, I'm looking for a vet actually to be on my team. And not only that, I was encouraging people like you, like small organizations here in Nepal, instead of like calling, hey, how come you're not taking? How about forming your volunteer group and contact each organization, say, hey, what can we do to volunteer and help, expedite the care for the animals? Can we help clean? Can we help your shelter? Can we help bathe the animals? What is it that we can do in your shelter? So this way, when we have animals sick, you could take them. You have to, we kind of have build good rapport with everyone. So this way, they would, we would build trust. But because blaming is not gonna get us anywhere. But the goodness in that is that's why I am here. I'm actually looking for small organizations to help because I'm an ICU nurse by profession in the US, but half of my income goes to my foundation because when I went back, I took a dog with me to, I actually have a feeding group. I've been feeding the Teku garbage-sized dogs, 400 of them every day since March. With Kathmandu locals. I'm partnered with them. And I'm also helping children and all these things. But I am here to help you, so you're in the right place. Just be patient, attend things like this, and I also wanted to maybe have sponsor an annual seminar where all of the animal organizations could come together, set aside the ego, so this way we could educate young people like you to how is it really to go about professionally together. So this way we could help more animals because division won't help any, only support and teamwork. So that is all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for being here and I'm quite have a
I
fruitful
even have a
discussion.
card of my foundation,
Sure,
so
sure.
I put
And
that
if you
before.
have any other questions, feel free to contact the speakers outside of this room. So thank you very much again once.
Thank you, everyone. Just off of the panel, just to address, I'm sorry.
Apple.
Apple. So you.
I'm from Chicago. You're from
Oh,
Michigan.
wonderful. Yes, I was in Chicago 10 years. So, you mentioned that you are a feeder, and so we've also worked with Kathmandu locals. And what we try to do is work with feeders because you have access to large groups of dogs. Okay.
Yes.
In order to make a difference in the population size, you need to hit 80% of a population. Okay, so if you are at Teku, one of the dumping sites, which we're planning to do mass sterilizations there,
Amazing. Thank you.
we would like to work with you.
Of course.
And
I've been meaning to talk to you.
Please, I've been
I didn't
begging
even
the
know
community
you
to
existed
contact
until
us.
I came here. I'm like, Jennifer, George, somebody has a foundation from Michigan next door to me? That's amazing.
I am the annoying person who sends messages to members of the community and says, have you contacted us to schedule your dogs for sterilization, your
Amazing.
cats for sterilization? Let's work together.
I'm here
Let's
for 3
work
months.
together.
That's what I'm here for.
That's how we get results.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
So thank you very much again. It's quite heating discussion
I'm
over here.
frustrated.
So
Do you know
after
how
this
hard
we
it is to
have
be in
a vegan
America?
ethics session over here, and the speaker will be Emilia Anandaliz, and another speaker is Seth Tibor. So if anybody is interested in this session, you can stay here and listen to them. And thank you very much again.